But so another thing we'll do this morning, see if this flies. Have films ever influenced you? Probably as a younger person, films really influenced you. Did a very good friend of mine, Mark Perry, actually, he saw Clockwork Orange. It's a very influential film in all kinds of ways. Clockwork Orange, may have influenced society and filmmaking itself, but it influenced Mark Perry of Deptford. And much more than anyone else, because he then attended the Lewisham concert of David Bowie, or Bowie as it's referred to on this station still. He attended the concert in a kind of white boiler suit style thing, even though it wasn't quite together. And you know that scene in Clockwork Orange where Alex wears the big false nose? Well, he affected one of those.
Oh, right.
Not the most menacing thing about them, is it?
Well, in the film it is, of course, because it takes in a horrible
But not
scene.
some bloke walking down Deptford High Street.
And it's supposed, in the film, they don't affect it for fashion purposes, because they're just about to do a raid on a house, and there's a disguise, a rather grotesque disguise. They were that mask. He kicks open the door, doesn't he? And he wears that awful phallic nose. So Mark just thought, well, no, it's part of the street gang furniture. And I swear, he wore a great big false nose to a David Bowie concert with a superior look on his face. And he couldn't understand what people were going, look at that bloke over there, look at that kid over there. What's that kid doing? He's got his dad's boiler suit on and a great big nose. And I believe even Bowie took the stage that night and said, Ziggy, play... Christ almighty, what does the kid look like? Son, are you all right? You know this is just an act, don't you, son? Yes, he did. He wore a great big rubber nose with the most serious expression you can possibly wear a great big rubber nose with, defying people to find anything outre in it. Here's Janice in Basildon. Janice!
Oh, good morning.
What have you got for us?
My mum went to the wrong funeral once.
Oh, that's good. Tell us all the details, leaving out nothing, no matter how small.
But it was a long while ago, but she sort of went to the funeral, sitting there and sort of crying and dabbing her eyes. Went through the funeral sort of thing. Yeah. And then she sort of kept looking around thinking, I don't know no one here.
Yeah.
And then she realised it was the one before her one that she was supposed to go to. She had the wrong time.
And and she had given the full emoting and everything?
Yes. And she asked for a flowers bag.
Wow. And so it wasn't until the fella stood up and said, we're here to mourn Sheila Wheeler and Wayne Hussein and Shane Hussein. What? And she asked for her flowers back?
Yes.
Well, that is how nuts in your mum. It's easily done. It's
but
easily...
She asked buses to stop. And she gets off the bus, she sees me.
And she asked them to stop?
Yeah, and she said, I've got to go because the bus is waiting for me. And then she ran back.
And they oblige you? They oblige her in this?
Yeah.
Who's driving the bus? Eric Sykes?
Well, could I intrude and ask what your mother's name may be?
My mum's name?
Yeah. Dorothy, OK. Dorothy, who went and who mourned in error and then asked for her flowers back. Thank you very much indeed, Janice. Tremendous story, straight on the list. Sarah!
Hello.
Good morning, Sarah. I do apologise, Sarah. I've got about 3 plates spinning at the moment, including the Emmys. What have you got for us, Sarah?
Oh, you wanted a crazy dad story.
Yes, well, I have to... the way is how nuts is your dad?
My dad is, bear in mind, he's a lifelong non-smoker.
Yeah.
And also rather careful with his money.
OK.
When we went on holiday when I was about 13 to Yugoslavia, he took up smoking because the cigarettes were only 25p a pack. And my sister cried when she saw a fag hanging out of his mouth, but he didn't care.
And his reasoning was, Dad, what are you doing? Do you know how cheap these are?
And he made me drink beer because it was cheaper than Coca-Cola.
Say that again so we can put it on our advert. Say that again.
He made me drink beer because it was cheaper than Coca-Cola.
That has got to go on the advert.
But Daddy, I don't like the taste. Shut up and have another fag.
How dare you say that? There are alcoholics looking for that in Glasgow, my girl. They took up smoking because they were so cheap.
Yes.
Man, he didn't pass any streetwalkers while he was over there, did he? I think Mum might have had something to say about that. Sarah, your old man is definitely on it. It's a bonanza morning. How nuts is your mum? How nuts is your dad? I do apologise, Amy, for coming halfway through the Emmys, but we'll be back with the roundup of those and other stuff. So take my apologies, but I think it was worth it for that.
Yes, definitely.
Otherwise, I don't know. There's some stacks of things that will filter down throughout the morning. And you jot them down. It's one of the few jobs where you actually do look forward to coming back. I really look forward to coming back. I'm thinking, oh, this will be good. I'll write that down. Oh, I know something terrific. If we're ever going to have a catchphrase, and if ever we're going to have something written on T-shirts and given away, it's going to be this. In Disney's, actually, all the places over there have quite heightened security now, although it's not great. Anyone who's just come back from Florida and the Disney places knows the security is in place. And it's, you get there first because the queues, like, they're not big enough going into the Magic Kingdom and stuff. Now there's these pre-queues where they search everyone's bags. But they're not very good at it. Not being light about it, but they're not. There's a fella there with a wooden stick. It looks like a conductor's baton. And they open the bag and they go, honk, honk, honk. They poke it about 3 times and through you go. It's the most perfunctory security you've ever seen in your life, but it's in place anyway. And there's a lot more Disney police on the streets of the Magic Kingdom. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. They really are.
What are the uniforms?
No, they have their own...
What animals are they?
Disney have the 4th largest navy in the world, as we've discovered in the show before. They do. In terms of sheer boats, the 4th largest navy in the world is the Disney Corporation. Fact. But anyway, they've got their own post office there. I mean, we aren't dealing with Alton Towers. This is a place the size of Essex, isn't it? I mean, just imagine the Disney world in itself. And their own post office and all this. They've got their own police force. Disney got their own security force. So, and it's sizable. And but when you see them standing on the thing, they do have Disney police things on the side. And so I'm standing with the fellow. We waiting for a parade to come. And I says, "A lot more of you guys this time, I noticed." Yeah. And he's this fellow who wasn't actually chewing a matchstick, but he should have been. Reflective glasses on. So I said, you got to get... This is September 11th stuff, because you're not... Yeah, we're the main place. We've always been here. I said, I know you've always had a police force. And I said, but because you're not like England. I said, you don't get kind of rowdy gangs of lads and all that. No, we don't. No. And you don't really get... much shoplifting? No, shoplifting. I said, people steal... No, people don't steal from stores here. No. I said, so mainly it's... kids throwing popcorn at the parade as it goes by. Is it? Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Yeah. And he said it's looking straight ahead with a stony face. He says kids throwing popcorn at the horses. Not on my watch.
It speaks volumes.
No, and everything after that for the next 6 days, whenever me and Sonny said anything, it was even vaguely, not on my watch. He's got that down. I bet when the boys from New York come down, a couple of kids throwing popcorn at one of the horses, and had to take them down. Took them downtown, put some heat on them. Not on my watch. So that may turn up a lot over the next few weeks. That's just too good. I was a big Mark Bolan fan, and the least subtle way anyone can break tragic news was that, I think I told before, was the way my dad broke the news that Mark Bolan had gone. I was laying in bed asleep, and it was because it was late at night. He actually died, didn't he? And my dad come into my bedroom next morning with a cup of tea. And he knew I used to have... Bolan was, the bloom was off the rose by then, but I used to have Bolan posters on me wall. My dad kind of remembered that. And this is absolutely word for word what my dad said. He came in, cup of tea, and he said, I'm still living at home. And he came in, his cup of tea, and he said, "Hey, morning, who's that bloke you like? You used to have the posters up on the wall. I don't know, a fella with stars on his cheeks. Mark Bolan, gone, dead." And he went out again. That's what he did. That's exactly what my man did. Who's that? Oh, I'm still groggy. I'm waking up. Who's the bloke with the stars on it? Mark Bolan. Yeah, gone, dead. And he walked out. And I was left with this information. Dead. Gone, dead. Good morning. All morning we've been asking you. We've got Alan and Mark waiting on the phone. But we have been asking you, have you ever been so influenced by a film or a genre that it affected your life? Now, Mark told us about up in Wigan.
Goldman.
A fellow who was, as far as moved never been to Wyoming.
But moved by his 1940s cowboy films that he watched.
Moved by so much so that when you walked into the pub where this old boy sat and they turned around and said, "John, how you doing?" he would say,
"Mighty fine, mighty fine."
The fellow was from Wigan. Now, sitting opposite me, somebody else who's turned up in these stories this morning is my very good friend and some may say arch poet and founder of the punk rock movement, Mark Perry. Some call him Mark P, but his name's Mark Perry, of course. As it's written on the label of Virginia Music by Roxy Music, which I still have. Virginia playing by Roxy Music. You wrote on the label Mark Perry Tambourine. So, right. But you were so influenced by A Clockwork Orange. Tell everyone how you turned up for a David Bowie gig at Lewisham.
I turned up.
I'm sorry, it just happens to be you were
Yeah, I
coming this
turned
morning.
up with a boiler suit and also one of these long plastic noses that the main character in. But I thought I got the nose off of you, Dan.
No, you
brought in a joke shop.
I might have
in
life
Bloomsbury.
cast it. I think I life cast it for you, but you wore it.
Yeah, I did, and I kept all through the gig because the reason I wore this at a Bowie concert is he used to use the theme music,
Yes, he
his
did.
intro
Yes, he did,
music,
yeah.
and I sat the whole gig wearing this because I'm getting hotter and hotter in this plastic. Plus, I'm poking this guy in the back of the head with it. Every time I sort of stand up to get excited, I keep, and this guy's getting angry and angry. Finally threatens to burn it with his cigarette because he gets so fed up with poking me in the back of the head with my long
I love
plastic
that
nose.
story. I know. You see, the thing is, there's lots of things that I know. You know, we all toyed with. I had a bowler for a time. Me and Lenny Bart wore bowler
I've never
hats.
had the bowler.
Well, you know, walking around the streets, but oh mate, what do you want to have for? They didn't understand. It's a different culture. These kind of people. This film, we're lampooning you. Don't you realise, you street yobs? But I never went so far as to wearing the long Spike Milligan nose. That's a terrific story.
I thought you had. I thought it was yours. I assumed it was your nose.
No.
The sort of thing you'd have come out with.
Yeah, I know. I may have worn it for an amusing effect, not to impress David Bowie. That was the dress I wore for 2 years. And, here's Maria in Farnham, just before the first bit of tittle-tattle this morning. Well, Maria. Good morning, Maria.
Good morning, Denny.
You've got a song that should kick off this new radio station. What is it?
Yes, The Story of the Blues by Wah, which my 5-year-old is, yes.
Oh, so this is the anti-playlist on there, which is things that children like, and you can't quite figure it out. Can you quite figure out why a 5-year-old would like The Story of the Blues by Wah?
Not really, no.
And how did he first come across, or she first come across the Story of the Blues?
Well, from his dad playing, really, I think.
Yeah, and it is odd though, because I say, of all the records I play, occasionally Nancy will wander and go, "What's this?" And I'll say, you know, because I play her all these records we're talking about, and Hit the Road Jack by Ray Charles. She just started freaking out. I like this. Put this on the tape for me, Dad. So it's a Hit the Road Jack, A Story of the Blues by Wah. Do you know any other Wah names, Maria? Wah of Wex.
Wahheat.
Wahheat.
Jambika say Wah.
That's my favourite. Jambika say
yeah.
Wah. And there was one. What was their original name?
Ooh.
Wah. They've got about 19.
Yes, they have.
Altogether. Well, thank you very much, Maria, for putting that on the list. That's Maria in Farnham saying that on the other side of it, kids, and maybe it's yourself, who pick odd records to like, and there's Story of the Blues by Wah. A 5-year-old loves it. Good morning, everybody. I apologise. The hat is slightly at the centre of the head at the moment. We're trying to get our bearings on this, one of the great free-for-all Fridays. We throw out the categories. Sometimes they're split categories. Like last week, we did ask you for ice creams or Nazis, and you had to vote for your top 10 ice creams or Nazis. We've done the Kevin's one already. Sonny came out with a great category last night. I've got it, son. I'll do that. No, we need a more solid one next, I think. Reason why Dan's late? I didn't hear this. Out drinking with his life coach. Run off to join the old musical touring company. That's very good. Quentin in Bromley. Yeah, he's trying to trying to find the most Danny late music. Oh, let people realise I do try to marry things up. Drove past 24 HMV, and some people just can't help themselves. And it's Stephen Hitch is very, very good. Oh, I'm wobbly now. Oh, people are onto us. The other dancers at the Spearmint turned on him for making more money than them. The other dancers that was dancing there stand in front of the mirror telling himself he is special. His big new Best of Disney Music box arrived last night from Jenny in Wapping. Spotted loitering around Danny LaRue Street last night in his shoes. Spotted loitering around Janet Ellis's street last night. And number one reason I was late apparently was so used to being fired after 6 months he just didn't bother coming in. That's a terrific list. Oh, that's a terrific list, he said, with an element of surprise that the audience have it more than he does. That was Terry in the Old Kent Road. Here's Tony on the road near Tulse Hill, where he was. I'm sure he's virtually indoors again now. Tony! Good morning, Tony. Good as gold, rocking and a-rolling. Now, you're talking about the very important subject of Christmas presents for pets.
Indeed I am. I shall tell you. My daughter has an English Bull Terrier that wants to kill anything that moves.
Okay, yep.
And it has bought my Alsatian a present.
An inter-canine gift. An inter-canine gift. Go on.
And he's actually written to Morgan, "Have a lovely Christmas, love Albert."
And there are people starving. Is he called Albert? There are people starving. Now, how has the gift been passed across? Is it under a tree at the moment or anything?
No, we don't have a tree up yet. It will be under a tree. But what happened, my daughter and the grandkids brought it round, and one of the grandkids noticed that the wrapping wasn't quite right. So my wife actually re-wraps it with sellotape to make sure that it's all ready for Christmas.
And on Christmas Day, the dog comes around and goes, "What's this? What's this? What's this?" Oh, he likes it. It could be anything, or any day, and the dogs do enjoy it.
Love Albert. It's a little formal,
Love Albert.
but a little affectionate as well.
And how about the other way? Is there a gift going the other way?
Well, there'd have to be now.
There'll have to be.
What I'm really frightened about is if Albert comes round on Christmas and he sees that present that Morgan's got, he'll probably kill him.
So he doesn't really want it. So if you detect some disappointment on a dog's face, because it can be detected, disappointment on a dog's face, it really can. Well, I sometimes get the bowl and I say, not yet, not yet, not yet. You're not having dinner yet. And this kind of air comes over them. Well, that's a terrific thing. Will you let us know after Christmas how it went?
I will ring you and let you know, Dan.
What is it? Do you know what it is? Do you know?
I know what it is, yeah.
What is it?
Well, I can't tell you in case Morgan's listening.
I know Morgan might be listening. No, I'm not even going to attempt to dignify that. What do you think it is? Do you know what it is?
I think it's white milky drop.
Oh, it's always the white milky
drop.
But that's what in dog scribble he'll go, "Oh, white milky drops." So every Christmas, regular as clockwork, the white milky drops. You know, and how many times has he looked lovingly at that pink hard rubber ball in the shop? So many times, stood next to it, clearing his throat and looking down at it. Looks all dogs can do is clear their throat. Thank you very much indeed, Tony. Let's try Brian in Chislehurst. Brian, thanks for hanging on. Brian, what have you got for us, my friend?
Morning, Candyman.
No, you see, he gets a pound. It's as simple as that. What have you got for us, Brian?
Someone I met on jury service. Alatrim Kalakay Macadang.
Oh, one place may already have gone. Oh, now I have to I'm going to have to sit down for a bit. I was standing up. This has taken me by surprise. This is right out of the top drawer. I'm building up to it again. So Graham and Brooke and John, your work is cut out, because immediately the first call we've taken, and I said this is very, very tough to get on, and it is. But you were on jury service, Brian?
Yes, I was indeed. With this chap, I think he was Sri Lankan, I believe.
Source is immaterial, because it's the music, it's the rhythm, it's the meter, it's the groove. Now, and you sat down and you said your name is
Alatrim Kalakay.
No, hold on. Your name first. You said my name is
Brian.
Okay. And then you said, and your name is, and he said
Alatrim Kalakay Macadang.
Macadang dang. Daddling ding daddling ding ding ding. His name's Macadang dang.
Yep.
Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
Alatrim Kalakay Macadang.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an entrant. That means there's only one more place, and we've got hour and 3/4. Macadang dang. Well, we better write this down phonetically. I would never.
Did you happen to ask him, Brian, how this person got the name?
Well, his name probably over. Where'd you say he's from? Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
Yeah, probably Macadang dang. You look up the phone book. There's plenty of Macadang dangs. You can't shout Macadang dang into a railway station with a dozen heads turning round. Me. No. That Macadang dang. What's his first name?
Alatrim.
Alatrim Macadang. Well, it's 3 Alatrim Macadang dangs for a start. Alatrim Macadang dang.
With Kalakay in the middle.
Now, this W.C. Fields wouldn't presume to write that. Used to work with a fella out west Sarawak way. Alatrim Macadang dang. Strange name, Macadang dang. That was his name. Wow. Well, thank you very much, Brian. It's on there. Miriam? Oh, come on. Where are you? Don't leave me here. Teasing me like that.
Are you ready for me?
Oh, more than ready.
Well, close your eyes and lie quietly in the water and let me look at you. Keep your eyes closed and sit up in the water. That's right.
Yeah.
Now take the soap and rub it on.
Oh, not again. Oh, love of God. It was such a marvellous dream, and every time it fit, you were there, and you were all there. One of these mornings we'll find out. That was Miriam Mowgli's, and who sometimes steps into my dreams. Sorry, mate.
What exactly was she talking about?
I have no idea. I keep getting woken up when she says, take the soap and. Now, take the soap, and we never get any further. One of these mornings, the dream of Miriam Mowgli's will carry on, but at the moment, it's this recurring nightmare I'm having.
Set your alarm for a bit later tomorrow.
We should get in the flotation tank, you and I, later on.
Yeah,
there is much to talk about. There is much to talk about. So what's happening in the world of the markets
What's happening in the world of the market? Oh, before I just sort of do that, you know exotic names?
Yes.
Well, people out in Hong Kong tend to sort of take their names from brand name products.
You're joking.
I'm not.
I thought that was just Horses in the Horse of the Year show.
Sanyo Sanma.
Yeah, exactly. Teas Made, wasn't it? One of those. Go on, give us some examples of.
Oh, okay. I mean, I have a friend called Winston Wong.
Winston Wong is it?
Named after the cigarette.
That's right. Yeah.
Is he? No, he isn't. How do you? All right.
I have
various other Winstons.
Winston. I have a Benson Kwok.
Really?
I do. Yeah. A Lambert Lee.
They're all named after fags.
Why are they named after cigarettes?
I don't know. I think maybe the parents, you know, when they're trying to sort of think of names for their children, sort of go down to the tobacconist and say, what shall I call them? And they sort of look up and they sort of see all these...
No. Priests are politicians, wise men. You don't shoot round to the tobacconist when you're looking for a name for a kid. Of course he's going to say that. What is he going to
do? My children, Lambert, Butler, Benson and Hedges.
I'm surprised. I even have a friend called Capstan Chan.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't. Now,
I do.
I don't mind this spot being used for the pure entertainment value and no financial worth at all. But I won't buy Capstan Chan.
I'm afraid I can introduce you to him one day.
He works in the consulate.
You have friends called Winston, Benson, Lamberts and Capstan.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's not going on to the motorcycles yet. I have friends that are called Suzuki, Yamaha.
But this is. I mean, I don't. Is the word obscene too strong here? They're naming them after products. I'm aware that the world of finance is more cutthroat out east, and they take it very, very seriously. But naming children after products,
particularly fags.
Well, yeah, I think it's
particularly cigarettes.
Well, it's because, you know, most Chinese people have a Chinese name, as you can well appreciate.
That is their prerogative, and they'll be the first to admit that.
Well, that's right. And my name really isn't David, you see.
Oh, hang on, everybody. Isn't it? Is it not?
It's a corruption of my Chinese name.
Which is?
Well, I'll tell you one.
No, I don't think we're going to move much further until we get this. Come on, it's bound to be tremendous. It may get on the exotic register.
Well, okay. It's actually Ta Chang.
Ta Chang?
That's right, yeah.
Low tar or high tar?
Oh, very good.
Thank you very much. Ta Chang Quo.
That's right, and
now, how do I pronounce? Because the other week you were giving me the inflections because British people say Ta Chang Quo, but it's not.
Right.
It's Ta Chang Quo.
No, it's actually Wok Dai Chang.
Now you've introduced another person. Who's this we've just met? I mean, come in, sit down, take the weight off your feet. But who's this? Say it again.
Wok Dai Chang.
That didn't sound anything like Ta Chang Quo.
Well, it doesn't, does it? So therefore, you know, you have to sort of look at the closest English name possible to that, and you go, well, there you go, it's David.
Who's Ta Chang Quo then?
Well, it's me.
But why doesn't it sound like it when you say it?
And I shan't even sort of explain to you what's happening, because obviously, you know, all Chinese names have a meaning.
Yeah. So these people who are buying your house, who are they dealing with?
They're dealing with me.
Well, okay, David, if I might call you David. I'm a little confused now. Sign off in using your... Say, this has been for the Motley Fool website, using your Chinese name. Go on.
This has been for the Motley Fool website, and this is Gok Tai Chang.
Come on, that's a fantastic financial spot. Where you go, Abla?
We can cross now to Vancouver, where Bernie Latham is, and he's been to see Smellivision.
Hooray! This is give us the background to the story. What is
now this is
taken from Ananova, a reliable news source.
Yeah, this has to do with the blinding cinema. You know, the cinema in Vancouver where they're showing Smellivision, and it's this artist who's taking clips from different films like Castaway and things like that, and actually using aerosol cans and
puffing in the correct smell.
Yeah, had a little little hot plate and was cooking things up in a little bain-marie, if you will.
And there are people starving?
Yeah. Now, I have to tell you, the origins of Smellivision started in the 1950s when this Swiss professor, of course, got to be some mad Swiss professor, discovered how to produce odors and smells in a movie theater, and it was through putting little pipettes, if you will, under your seat.
I've seen this. You know what they used to do? It was rather like an organ. In fact, it wasn't an adapted organ, like a cinema Wurlitzer. And the pedals down at the floor, which I've never been able to figure out how people can do that, the pedals on the floor were the different smells. And as the film would progress, it was somebody's job to keep their feet pushing, you know, coconut oil, followed by rainstorm, followed by lemons, followed by, you know, flies or whatever. And that's how they did it with their feet. Now, I don't know how this is arranged, but you've got somebody who's witnessed it in action,
well, originally they used to put out smells like, you know, garlic or pipe smoke or whatever, you know. But the smells weren't that advanced, so people actually were holding their noses and saying it's not really working. And we talked about how John Waters issued the scratch and sniff cards with his film, which, you are right, wasn't pink flamingos, it was polyester. So I stand corrected, of course. But of course, someone who has witnessed this and smelled it for himself is Bernie.
Is it Bernie? Yeah.
No,
it's Bernie Latham in Vancouver. It's Bernie Latham. Good morning, Bernie.
Good morning.
Now, what's the deal? It's Amy's story, but I'm so excited I'm leaping ahead. You queued up, you went into a cinema that promised not only vision, but smell too.
I did.
And what's the story with it?
Oh, it was not that good.
No?
Oh, what did they do? How did they get the smells in the air?
Well, he had a couple of fans set up. He had a little stove. He had...
It's good already.
Bowls. He had some bowls. He had some aerosol cans. That was what I could see from where I was sitting. Yeah.
And what was the first smell inflicted on the audience?
Well, he was doing a couple of things through some first bits of film, but it was indeterminate what smells he was making because there was quite a bit of patchouli oil and popcorn already in the theater.
What was the first clip on screen?
Oh God.
The film with what's it in it?
I can't tell you what the first clip was. In fact, I don't remember that. But the first clip that had an odor that was determinable was a clip from a film called Hamburgers in America.
Hamburgers in America. No, okay. So it burst upon the screen. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
It burst upon the screen, and he immediately started frying up. Is that what happened? Is that the science here? And what?
That's right.
You got the waft of hamburgers?
Not hamburgers. He was frying onions.
Now, I'd have thought that would have worked.
It did work. But that was the first odor that we really got.
Are you in a position to judge here, Bernie? Because you've been good enough to call us and say this is how it went. But where was your seat in relation to the onions?
I was probably 5 feet from the onions.
Oh, okay. That's pole position. Okay, so the onions went, and that was a success. But then again, it's a little obvious. It suggests it would work. And how did he follow that up?
He followed that up with bubbles.
Bubbles? Did I have a distinct? I think bubbles have a... No, I do. I think bubbles have a smell.
He was cheating, I thought, because there was no smell at all.
Well, the bubbles... What was that tied in with?
That was tied in with a film, a really wonderful film of naked girls at a car wash.
Oh, okay.
They tried not to get soap on their breasts, but they did anyway.
Yes, they did anyway, and the bubbles floated across the audience.
They did.
And
they caressed us.
And had the onion smell gone by then?
The onion smell, that was one of the things that surprised me, in fact, was how quickly the smells did dissipate.
Yeah.
He had that done right.
Okay, so that's good, because you wouldn't want to start associating the smell of onions with girls at car washes. So that went by. So you're a little sceptical now, thinking, hang on, you're just bringing in an old-fashioned bubble machine. This is not moving the genre forward. So the next thing he did was?
Casablanca.
Okay.
Now, I was
hang on, let me guess. A big fog machine came in?
No.
What did he do?
No, that is a good guess. I was wondering if that would happen. No, he cheated. He went the easy way out. He took the Claude Rains seed where Claude Rains was smoking lots of cigarettes.
Okay.
And he lit a cigarette, and he wafted that over.
That is neither. That's not science. That's not what we pay our tick. That happens in the pictures anyway.
It was lousy.
One cigarette?
I know, but it served as a segue into the next, which was a good one, and that was a Cheech and Chong film.
Okay.
Where they were smoking a big joint in the car.
And
at that point, he lit a joint,
Again, this fella seems to be getting money for jam. He's gone to the management and he said, I've got this great act, you know, and this great thing to do. I'll liven up the films. And they said, how are you going to do it? Well, would anyone lights a cigarette? I'll light a cigarette and blow the smoke at the audience. This really doesn't seem to me this is not industrial light and magic. So, all right, so he blew a joint over the audience, and after that, they all enjoyed the film. So, what would you say was the most
more to it than that.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Then he walked out into the audience and he handed out joints, lit them, and passed them around.
Again, all right, okay, I can see that the fella's trying to get the audience on his side. Now you're getting more bang for your buck. But what was his greatest success, Bernie, apart from this rather peculiar way of going about business in the modern cinema? What was his greatest hit?
It was definitely that one.
Bernie, this is telling us more about you than the show.
No question.
This is telling us... And people were trousering joints, I suppose, all over the place.
Yeah.
Were there any other effects?
There was only... Well, they got a little foggy after that. I'm having trouble remembering, but there was a final kiss feature, and he did the dry ice and smoke thing.
So... In this great Smellivision adventure, there was only one smell when he lit up a cigarette. Oh, no, he made himself hot dog at one point.
No, I've forgotten one thing, too. He did Scent of a Woman in the middle there.
And what, he got out some perfume, just sprayed it?
Well, yeah, but it was bad perfume. It was, you know... Yeah, Dutch prostitute or something. I don't know what.
Well, believe me, it goes about £5 a bottle these days. Not so cheap. But thank you very much, Bernie. Please be our Vancouver correspondent. Well, I suppose you're knee deep in snow over there, are you?
No.
Aren't you? Oh, that's cheering
us up. Not even freezing.
Well, if it comes to London, we'll hope it keeps the standards you've promised us there. That was Bernie Latham in Vancouver, who happened to hear the show the other day and thought, I'll tell you how it went.
He went to the Blinding Light Cinema in Vancouver and experienced that for himself.
Where you can watch films accompanied by the odour of frying onions and somebody smoking. And this is what Lumiere knocked himself out for all those years ago and legged it down the patent office. Where you go, Ola?